Hello beautiful people, my name is Wendy and this is Top 5 Wednesday. If you don't know what Top 5 Wednesday is and you'd like to find out more, I'm going to leave the Goodreads group and the creators tags all in the description box below. This week's topic is the perfect way to start up the new year, and it's our top 5 reading goals for 2018. I'm going to amend this a little bit so that it's the top 5 bookish goals of 2018 because I want to include some of my writing goals as well. It's snowing outside and I can't wait to go out and enjoy that, so without further ado, let's get started. Goal number 5 for me ties into a thing that I was doing in 2017, and it is to finish all the series that I started in 2017. For a really long time, I didn't like to buy into the hype of books and series. In 2017, I realized that many books maybe had slipped under my radar that I might have actually liked. So I sort of made a promise to myself that I would start at least a few of these series so that I could find out which ones I wanted to continue. I read a lot of first books in series in 2017, such as Throne of Glass and Red Rising, just to see if the hype for these books was deserved in my personal opinion. Some of the books I didn't like so much and have decided not to continue with despite the massive amount of hype that there was surrounding them around their release, and some of them I realized I really wanted to continue. So in 2018 I want to finish the series that actually were worth the hype for me, just so that I kind of wrap up on these stories and so that I can move forward with new releases coming out this year, because it's a good year for releases as well. My number 4 goal is a tie between two things. One that's related to writing and one that's related to reading. So the writing goal is to finish editing the novel that I began in November of last year. I'm currently going through sort of big picture edits, looking for things related to plot and setting and character and making sure everything is really tight before I send it out to beta readers. My number 4 reading goal is to read more widely across different genres. I've been stuck in a sort of self-created tower of sci-fi and fantasy basically my whole life, and it's just the books that I gravitate toward. But I realized that there's probably a lot of books that I've missed out on just because I hadn't given them a chance. These days I'm really into the idea of reading memoirs, particularly about people who've had very different lived experiences than I have. A memoir is a really great way of reading an own voices book without having to look for a specifically own voices book, because whose else voice is a memoir going to be written through? Also, nonfiction, a genre that I've sort of been terrified of delving into, has started to interest me a lot this year, so I definitely want to get my hands on more of that. Goal number 3 for me is one that I am absolutely terrified of, and that is to bring my physical TBR down to 0. So what with my constant influx of buying new books, despite my book buying ban that was in place basically all of last year, my physical TBR is pretty big. And I don't mean just in number of books, I sort of mean the size of the books on it. This beast has been on my TBR, I think, for 5 years now, and I've just never gotten to it. And I don't want to unhaul it because I'm still very much interested in getting through the story. It's just huge. And I want to say Les Mis is the longest book on my physical TBR, but it's not. There are even bigger bricks to get through, which is why this goal is so intimidating. Hopefully a smaller Goodreads goal will motivate me to pick up these beasts instead of tiny little flimsy books just to make the number count. Goal number 2 on my list is another one I'm pretty scared of, and that's to unhaul the books on my shelves that I'm no longer attached to. Whether that's because I'm no longer excited about reading them, or because I read them in the past and I didn't like them even then very much. Any number of reasons. I want to make space on my shelves for the books that I love and care about. This is the task that I was dreading the most out of this entire list, but due to unforeseen circumstances, it's going to become a little bit easier for me. My family is moving from my home here in Charleston, and because of that, my mother and father took the liberty of taking my books off of the shelves for me. I have very mixed feelings about that because I don't really like anyone touching my books except for me and then people that I'm overseeing, but getting them off the shelves I think will make it a lot easier for me to sort of remove the sentiment I've attached to these books, even the ones I don't like very much, and will make getting rid of the ones I don't like a little bit easier. And goal number 1, the main thing I want to get to this year, and the one I'm most terrified of and most excited for, it is another writerly goal, and it is to query agents and hopefully get agented in 2018. Writing books as not a hobby but as a career is my lifelong dream. I've wanted to do it ever since I was little, and I figured out that books were a thing that somebody had to make. For a long time I was scared of even trying to pursue that dream just because so many people had tried to talk me out of it, but this year I'm really going all in, full speed ahead, trying to make this happen for myself. And who knows, hopefully one day you guys will be holding my book in your book hauls and TBRs, and I want to make that day come sooner rather than later. Alrighty guys, that's it for me. It's snowing outside in Charleston for the first time in I don't even know how long, so I'm really excited to get out there and play in the snow like a child. So I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.